Hey guys, what's up? It is your girl Lock Looney Tune. Now, I have to admit that I haven't always had the best judgment when it's come to choosing the guys that I have dated when I was younger. Case in point, there was a time when I had an after school job. One day I was coming home from my after school job and I used to walk through this pathway that was by the cemetery. At the end of the cemetery there was a gas station, and I used to always get like a bag of chips, some gum, something like that from the gas station before I used to turn into my house and go home, which was not that far away. So one day I was walking, I was stopped at the gas station as usual, and there was this guy there, very good looking. He was a very good looking guy. At the time, like I said, I was in my teens. I was probably somewhere in between, I don't know, between 14 and 18, something like that. I seen the guy. I was at the gas station getting snacks. He was at the gas station getting gas for this car that he drove. I don't know what kind of car it was. All I know is that the car was like a beautiful muddy green convertible. It was a gorgeous car, beautiful car. At the time, I was looking at him, I was eyeing him, giving him the eye, he was giving me the eye, and I guess he looked very interested. So he approached me, and he tried to holler at me, and then he did everything that he could possibly do in order to get my number. Yeah, that's what I did. I did give this guy my number. I mean, the brother was fine. He was very fine. I also noticed that on the back of his car, the license plate said exquisite, and it was spelled like that. As the guy was talking to me, we introduced ourselves to each other. Told him my name. I said, hey, my name, is Sabrina, blah blah blah, and he told me his name. So he was like, my name is Kirk, and I said, Kirk? And he said, yeah, like Captain Kirk. And I said, okay, all right, whatever. And I wasn't a big Star Trek fan, but I did know, who Captain Kirk was and things like that. So, I didn't think too much of it. So, needless to say, we, dated for a while, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. We hung out and stuff like that, talked and things like that. The relationship was not sexual. It was not a sexual relationship. We just went out, he took me out, treated me real good, things like that. I was a teen. Oh, by the way, the guy was considerably older than I was. Like I said, I was definitely in my teens, and this guy he was about 22 to 23 years old. So he was definitely an adult, driving and all that stuff. Fast forward to like maybe 3 months later, what I'm saying? Like I told you before, we weren't in a sexual relationship, but at this point in time, I had never been to Kirk's house. Kirk asked me to come visit him at his house. Now, mind you, Kirk, 22, 23 years old, still lives with his mama, which is not too bad because he's still kind of young, but I mean, I was just like, you live with your mama, I mean, I'm in my teens and I live with my dad, that's one thing, but you 23 with a car and you live with your mama. So I'm like, maybe. So he asked me to come over to his house to spend time with him at his house. Now, his mother was not at home at the time. Well, I said, okay, fine. I mean, we had already been going out for about 2 or 3 months or whatever. I was like, okay, fine. I know him, okay, okay enough for me to go over his house and things like that. Came and picked me up in the car, and we rode over to his house, which wasn't too far from my house. And when we got to his house, I saw the house. I was like, oh my God, it was a beautiful, like 3-story home. It was gorgeous from the outside. From what I had first seen when we pulled up into the driveway, I was just like, oh my God, this house is like so beautiful. I was like, your mom is doing really good for yourself because it's your mom's house, it ain't really your house. And I went in there and the interior design was gorgeous. Living room, dining room, everything, wallpaper, all that. We walk over into, he shows me his mom's bedroom, not like go in there for a tour or anything like that, but he opens the door, I guess was already open. He was like, that's my mom's room, and her room was gorgeous. Like, it was beautiful. It was just really very well decorated. He was like, okay, and this is my room right here. So I turn around because his room is like across the hall from his mom's room. I walk in and I look and I say, I'm telling you, it was a whole nother world. It was like two totally different people that I had been dealing with. I did not know anything about this, but when I walked into the room, first thing I saw was the walls was painted dark blue, really dark blue, and there were little specks of white to make the room look like stars, and it was stars all over the room, Star Trek memorabilia like all over the room. It was like I walked into a kid's room. It was like I walked into a room of maybe a 6 or 7 year old. So I'm looking and I'm just like, so he says, well, this is my enterprise. I'm just like, dude, I'm just really interested in trying to get the hell up out of there, because I was just like, even though this is a decent guy, I'm sorry, this is a whole different side of you that I didn't even know existed. And then in the corner of his room, he had the actual Starship Enterprise like model, whatever it was sitting on top of this dresser thing, and it had like lights, spotlights beaming on it. I swear to God, I felt like I was in the fucking Twilight Zone. I walked in there, and then his bed sheets, like his comforters and stuff, all of that stuff was Star Trek themed. The sheets, the comforters, the walls, the everything, the whole entire room. It was like I was in some type, I didn't know what I had just walked into. That's when it dawned on me. I was just like, okay, well, this is the reason why, I guess, I don't know, you know, did your mama name you Kirk because she was a fan of Captain Kirk? I didn't understand the whole situation. I have this frozen like look on my face, just like now, and I was just like, I'm not staying in here. Just very uncomfortable with the situation, because he was very comfortable with the fact that his room looked like he needed to be wearing like some Star Trek underoos or something like that. This is really weird for me. Dude, you drive a car, you're a grown ass man, you live with your mama, but I see that you live like you are about 7 years old. Needless to say, I got the hell up out of there. I was just like, you know what, I'm not feeling well. Could you like please take me home and I'll call you later. Never called his ass again, and I never picked up the phone when he called me. I thought that shit was just way too weird for me. I thought, no, can't do it. Could you only imagine somebody trying to have sex with some dude while, you know, the theme from Star Trek and all this other stuff and this music is playing? Like, it is the most weirdest situation ever in my life. Thank God that it never ever even came to that. So with that being said, guys, do not forget to follow your girl on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Alright guys, so I will see you guys on VEDA Day 6. Alright guys, peace.